Okay, let's get on with this. Welcome to the stream. We had set up a little bit of the Steam page yesterday. We're gonna work on something a little bit cooler today. So I have been looking at some of my lore documents and stuff, which has been cool. It's very complex if you can't tell already. Okay, let me pull up some stuff here. Still getting set up. Maybe we could just look at this for now. So I have some projects that we got to work on to get the game kind of moving forward. So the main area that we're going to next will be right here, which is it's going to be this place called the Black Barns, and it's because it's been created by this character by the name of Blackburn. Anyway, you start off in your intro section here, and when you get to the end of it, you meet these two people and you can attack them or not, and depending on what you do, it takes you to a different place in the game. I am going to also do something real quick. I'm gonna pop this stream into some of my socials real quick. Okay, and then make sure I don't like replay it. Okay, so let's do this one here instead. Live streams. Okay, cool. Just got that going. All right. So over here we have I've split up some of my like layouts for this area. I've gone ahead and done some like maze generation type stuff, and I'm just gonna kind of trace out things and kind of edit where I want, because honestly level design is crazy, and it is a slow going process if I don't do something to speed it up. So literally just like some online HTML like maze generation program, not even like complicated, not AI or any crap like that. It's just some program. Anyway, easy piece of cake, and we're just gonna kind of roll with it for now. I've already got some plans for like how we're gonna do stuff. This is gonna be like a little warehouse area, but let me roll into some of like the I guess like the lore. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna kind of pull up some of the lore of what the Black Barns are, so that you can kind of understand like where I'm going with this, and like what the general tone and I guess theme of what we're going for is. So this, we were kind of looking at this last time. I spent a bit more time writing some stuff up for like, I guess, what actually is the Black Barns, who owns it, who runs it, why does it exist, and just some important questions. And the reason I'm doing that is so that way we can figure out like what is going to go in there. And there's two like major inspirations that I have. One of them is like I want this to feel almost like a kind of like a trap room, like something like in Super Meat Boy, where there's just like a ton of obstacles and like razors and things, and so like as you're jumping around, there's just these like obstacles that you have to get by and do like kind of weird puzzles and stuff. And then it's gonna be kind of in this like warehouse setting, so it's like almost even something like Hello Neighbor, where it's just like this like overgrown, very boxy, like huge looking like warehouse or something that's just been built and built and built and built on top of itself. So that's the idea. So I was thinking with that, then, since everything should be kind of boxy, we can get away with some like maze type architecture here. So that would be cool. Okay, so in terms of like lore though, which is important. Basically, the character that we have been talking about, his name is Blackburn. Let me move my microphone over here. Okay. Blackburn. He was a part of another experiment. It was like this scientific experiment headed by the Bureau. We've talked a little bit about the Bureau. They're just kind of basically like the Illuminati, just some like underground corporation organization that just kind of does crazy, weird experimentation stuff. They started a project for doing like brain chip experimentations. So we have the Crips, which is a brain chip technology. They started a experiment called Breath of Glades. And in charge of that project was someone by the name of Geller. Okay, so Geller runs this. And this is a little bit of what my last game, Lucid, is about. He has in second in command, Blackburn. Okay, so the whole project falls apart because of this, like, basically this mind virus gets released and kind of develops in all of the patients with the brain chips, and it kind of, like, kills everyone and makes them go crazy. Okay, Geller is kind of wrapped up in that whole process. He's kind of trying to, like, create brain chips for himself and do things like that, so he dies as well. Everyone dies, basically. Blackburn takes a whole bunch of people who survived with him. They escape. And then also that whole catastrophe that happens is actually a worldwide event as well. And so there's kind of like these two eras in like the fog world, where there is basically pre and then post catastrophe. And so building up to this, there's a lot of tension, and like all these companies are racing to create like machines and AI and robots and all of these things. And then after this happens, like the whole world just kind of like falls apart and turns into more of like a post-apocalyptic type of universe. And this is where our game actually takes place, is somewhere in here. So this project here is taking place like around here. Catastrophe happens, whole bunch of people die, and then Blackburn starts up a new organization called the Whalers. And they are like an anti-machine movement. So they're creating robots but using flesh and bone and all of like this organic material. In this project, Blackburn ends up kind of getting sucked back into all of like the kind of weird conspiracies about like just stuff and like reality and like fears and things with like the brain chips, and he starts trying to kind of recreate a lot of those experiments. And it starts off like not using digital elements, and then it kind of reintroduces the digital elements as time goes on. And so he's then kind of doing his own thing over here, and then the Whalers are like doing their developments over somewhere else, and he kind of creates like his own secret warehouse where he's doing all of his experiments. And this is where we're at right now. So then this becomes the Black Barns. Okay. So in this place then, because he's running all of these experiments, he has prisons to hold people, because he starts kidnapping people to experiment on. Like experimentation chambers. So there's the experiments. There's going to be these kind of like... So, you know in like Bioshock, I think they're called the Big Daddies, but just those kind of like mech suits. yeah, these guys. Anyway, these guys. He's kind of creating suits like this, but they're more like flesh focused and stuff, and so they're anyway, very interesting. He doesn't complete them here though, and he kind of gives up on the project, and so there's going to be these like half finished mechs. Here's the cool thing. In the game, later on, you end up going to these Whaler Barns. And here, you'll actually find completed mechs, and you'll have to fight them and stuff, and it'll be a whole thing. So it's kind of cool. This will be like a foreshadowing thing here, where it's like, oh, here are these huge things. Hopefully you don't have to fight them, and then later on you do have to fight them. So that'll be kind of fun. Okay, so we have those. And then there's going to be just weird, like, traps and, I don't know, mechanisms and just all of this mechanical, crazy stuff going on. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to start kind of developing our little level. So some of these, whoops, I was not supposed to close that. Which one was it? This one? Okay, so there will be some places like here where it's going to be a warehouse kind of area. So you walk into this, and this is like this huge room. You know, this is where we could have some like half-finished spoiler mechs and stuff like that. In between are going to be these kind of like catwalks almost. So like in a factory, you're going to have, let's see, these kind of like elevated sections up here in like the rafters. And what I'm going to draw is something more like there's these rafters that you can kind of walk across, but they're like hundreds and hundreds of feet up in the air. And so there's like nothing underneath. So I'm going to use kind of some of this for inspiration. So something like this up here, but then there's like no floor. So the big thing with the warehouses is basically the whole thing is a box. It has a bunch of like straight lines of just like these huge metal beams running throughout it. So let's get that going. And then I'm going to bump up my microphone just a little bit more. Just so that it's not super quiet. Maybe here's good. This should be good. Okay. So this, for instance, in this area here is going to have a bunch of catwalk areas. So all of this will be these like metal platforms that you're walking across. And they could have like, well, yeah. Anyway, so underneath all of it, though, out here will be just this like empty space. So the other thing too is in this area that you're or walking around, there's going to be these like prison cells that you can walk into. Some of them might have people in them. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that part out yet. And then I left some of these little like maze elements out here just to kind of look like these big I-beams running across the whole catwalk here. So we could do something like that. Yeah, and then I just have to figure out where to put like some cells, some holding cells for people and all the prisoners and stuff. So I figured at this point in time, I'll just kind of run through some very like basic rough drafts. Since I probably shouldn't worry about doing a final draft of really anything in the game, until we complete most of the game. Like, we should have a pretty viable product before I start worrying about polishing everything up. Some of the other stuff that's going to be important is that we need like office spaces for just for like kind of lore elements. So Blackburn obviously has been working in here. It's implied that he's mainly working by himself. And so he's going to have kind of these documents just strewn about all over the place because he's been, you know, wandering up here to like check on these patients and then go out here and do experiments here, and he's just all over the place. So this would probably be a good place for like a little holding cell. I wanted to see about the sizing on everything. Like, does this feel like a good size? So let me put this down real quick, and then we'll play with it and see how it feels in the game. Here. So pop over to prison, and then we'll play around with this. So this, yeah, this feels like something. Microphone died. Interesting. Maybe, am I too high on it? Or, that's interesting. Huh. Hasn't happened before. Okay, so over here, what will happen in this area is that this will be like your cell that you wake up in after you've, after basically you've been killed by Blackburn, but he kidnaps you in the beginning instead. So then you wake up here, and you'll have to break out of your prison cell, and so you'll immediately be in combat mode. And I still haven't figured out if I want you to be in combat mode all of the time, but you'll have some sort of pipe, weapon, something that you pick up. Yeah, maybe it's like some sort of sharp metal stick or something, but you'll pick it up. You'll have to bust through your door, and then you can walk out, and then you'll be kind of exploring everything here. So this will be just this empty catwalk into just like nothingness out here. And then you'll kind of wander around. So all of this feels pretty good, I think, in terms of how big it is. Yeah, and so then something here would be like this little holding cell. And I almost feel like I like how empty it is. You're just kind of wandering around this like bizarre landscape here. And so almost having this be completely vacant, where you're just wandering around for a bit, might actually be better than like filling it with cells, like jail cells everywhere. Yeah, so you just wander through here. This will be a cell, so you can go in there, and maybe there's something in there or someone, or haven't figured that part out yet, but I'll put a cell there. There should probably be like another one here. You walk around. Maybe this will be empty, and there could be another one like maybe in here. Then you'll walk up through here, and then this takes you into like the first like warehouse section. Oh, also I tried to oil up my chair, so hopefully it's not so squeaky now. Okay, let's get back to working on that. So I think I'm pretty happy with all of that. So the big thing is we just want a cell right here, which should be about the same size as this, which is just, it's probably about as big as this, maybe a little bit bigger. and then it's 2 wide. Okay, so it's like 1, 2, like out here. And then that'll be a cell. Yeah, and the whole thing is just like a fascinating environment where everything is just empty and like floating out in the world. Which anyway, I just find like super cool. It'll be like very surreal, which is awesome. So, okay, maybe we'll put the door like on this side, so you'll walk through a bit and then you'll see, oh, there's this cell, but you have to walk all the way along it before you go in there. And it might not be open. Maybe you can only see into it. But that'd be kind of cool if it was open. I guess the other big thing is technically I want all of this here. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to make the catwalk super skinny on this part here. Because I really want it to feel like it's this like isolated prison cell. Something like that. And then for the rest of them, I do want to make sure there is a clear separation here from the catwalk and all of these I-beams that are running out. So, because technically this is underneath this here, so it goes under there. So something like that. Perfect. Okay, and then I can fill that in a little bit more there. Yeah, cool. Cool. So this, maybe I'll make this go out a little bit further, just like that. This is some sort of cell. Don't know what's going to be in there. Have this kind of sitting like that. This all comes out here. I guess these can kind of... Was I going to put a cell right there? Yeah, I guess that works. That actually does work. So same thing here. You know what? I am going to separate this a little bit. Not as much as the main one that Keegan is in. Just a little bit. Because I do want to keep up the theme of that, like, isolation. But it doesn't need to be quite as dramatic as this part is. Okay. So we got that. Then we come out here. This one, same thing. Just have this kind of walk out a little bit. Because, like, the big thing, I don't want to hide it. Like, I do want the player to see it and not, like, walk past it and go like, oh, there was something there. And then, honestly, let's just go like this. Just so I get, like, the right proportion, you know? Okay. So that's cool. Looks good. Got all these lines, and this could be like a beam that comes out here. Probably connects into this thing somehow. Do something like that. Okay, and then this will come out too. Probably should go out further though. Ooh, something like that. Okay. We have this. And I guess like the implication here is that these, well, this whole thing is just like falling apart. It's all of these like leftover parts. And it's just been like cobbled together, just like sewn together like a Frankenstein warehouse. Where Blackburn is just using anything that he can get his hands on to make it bigger, and to just add more to it. Oh man, and this is just one area in the whole game. I have so many areas. It's wild. Okay, and the big thing, the reason I'm kind of sketching through this is because I want to get rid of the weird, like, kind of gray background here. It's not ideal. I guess all these kind of like extra layers here help. Whoops. Weird. Okay. And then this is a transition into the next room. So I have to figure out how that works. Which honestly then is a cool room. So that'll be fun. Okay, I don't think... Do we have any more holding cells? I don't think so. So it's just the two so far. Later on we'll get into more stuff, but so hopefully, yeah, we should be able to get rid of that and then just use this instead now. So let's go ahead and save that, and then we will save that as a ping file. And then I think we're going to be done with this for now. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, and then I do want to see how that looks, though. Cool. It's a little bright. Can I turn off my post-processing? Yeah, it looks cool. You'll wander through here, go through here, check out this stuff, do that, go through here, and then check out this. Okay, so this is the next part that we got to deal with. Technically, there should be a line there, but whatever. We'll do that later. Okay, so let's get back to this guy. And let's start figuring him out. So he comes in from here. Connects to the other one. This is actually going to be a staircase right here. So it's going to come out like this. And then we're going to have these stairs that come down. So yes, and then technically a typical staircase has 13 steps. I don't know that we want that many because it looks kind of weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe we'll do like one more. And then that looks pretty good. So, yeah. Honestly, my chair sounds great. That's awesome. So, you wander into here. It'll be this large, like warehouse room. Not totally sure what else we can do with this. Like, obviously gonna add a bunch of, like, weird crates, boxes, barrels, you know, all of the typical warehouse type of stuff. But I think for right now, too, I just kind of want to get the player used to the level. So they just kind of wander around and, like, soak in the atmosphere. I guess this part here probably turns into a, like, a catwalk or something out here. So going into here, we'll probably, so the aesthetic for, like, the actual level itself, this will be some sort of, like, wood type of something like this, which maybe we can start adding some elements like this just so we kind of remember what we're doing here. In particular, yeah, something kind of like this. All right, how can I use this though to help? Okay, so I guess like pallets, like big wooden pallets. I guess there are technically these like beams that stick out here in places for like structural support. The corners kind of have these like beams in here. Something like that, I guess. And then honestly, you probably also have a couple of pillars like in the middle of the warehouse, although we don't really need to do that. So I guess I'll kind of fill this in, kind of populate it with a couple of these pillars here. Maybe I should line it up. Do something like that. This comes down here. Do some stuff like that. And then there are these like kind of like underneath sections too. Not sure how to depict that very well. Yeah, you plan on making a game. You should totally, add Easter eggs and stuff. And then, if you have things to add, or that you want me to add, let me know and we can figure out how to do that. That'd be cool. 100%. So I think right here is where I'm going to kind of transition into like a catwalk area. So maybe I should have a staircase though that you go up, so it could kind of go up here. Something that comes out like this. And then maybe it comes in from like right here. Does kind of one of those like landings and then turns into another staircase here. Something like ish that. And then we'll go up the full thing. Okay, yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, and that's probably sufficient, you know. Just some sort of little thing here. Okay, cool. So, nothing crazy going on. Add some extra beams here so it looks like there's like support and stuff. Cool. So yeah, that's our first little like open warehouse section. There's a lot that I could do here. Obviously, I do want things like you're gonna run into some enemies here for sure. I don't know what, but like there's gonna be something something like things that you run into at this point. So then like you start doing the combat stuff at this point in the game. Yeah, if not already. Oh, I guess I technically in this part of the game I actually can't add enemies to this yet. Right? Or no, this is after you've traveled through the intro section. No, okay, so I can still add enemies to this section. Okay, and then honestly, this was something that I wanted to work on is I wanted to draw some of these houses and add them in later. So that's just something in the back of my mind. Because I'll probably get bored with this here in a second. It's a lot of just drawing squares and stuff. Okay. Pretty good so far. But honestly, it's a lot of drawing, which for me, like, better than trying to like create a level editor for me to use and then like going through the whole game, because like there's all sorts of weird stuff like this that like I don't want to program any of that. Like, just let me manually put in where everything is supposed to go and it'll work. So way easier to just do this. Yeah, so technically I have made quite a few games at this point. Technically I've published 2, but I've worked on so many different projects, and I feel like right now there are so many different people that like want to make games but don't really want to make games. They just want to make money and stuff just because like it's easy. And I think there's like a small group of people who are like actually really passionate about making games that have some sort of story or idea, and it's just really hard for those people right now because there's so much kind of like junk out there, and so it's hard to learn from anyone. It's hard to learn how to make games. The communities are a little bit weird because a lot of people are just in it for making money and not really making like a really cool game. And so I've just noticed like a lot of the tools out there, for instance, like making level editors and stuff, they're more designed for like quick games and like making a level really quickly, which kind of feeds into like, oh well, look, it's easy to make a game, so I'm just gonna buy this program or use Unreal or Unity because it offers me a level editor. But like when you really want to make a game because you enjoy it or you have some story that you want to tell, you don't need any of that stuff. Like, some of it's useful, a lot of it is not useful. Most people who make their own games don't use other people's software. And I think at a certain point too, I could genuinely see like, realistically, I could end up developing my own like game engine for some of my games, just because Unity comes with so much clutter, all this stuff that you don't really need, and you have to pay royalties to use it if you make money, and it's kind of hefty. And so there's a lot of reasons that you would just want to make your own game engine, and it just kind of makes things nice. Okay. Section 2 finished. let's go ahead and line this up to see how it fits. Hopefully we don't have to change anything with this. So we should be able to just move this right up into here and it pretty much should fit. Perfect. Yeah, again, I forgot to draw that line. So, okay. I'm kind of curious how this all looks, so I am going to jump into this and play with it real quick. Okay. Technically I can just zip through the whole thing, but I'll walk through it a little bit, just to like, where's my mouse? There it is. I can hardly see it just because everything's so bright. Yeah, let's do something like that. Okay. So here, yep, here's this thing. You'll walk into it. This is some little like prison cell. You can check it out. Maybe you can interact with stuff, click on things, whatever. You'll go over here. You'll be like, whoa, what's over here? Maybe this is locked. You can like talk to someone in the cell or something like that. Do something, I don't know. I have written a lot of like dialogue for like cell mates that you can run into. So I could add some of that real quick to the game just to, you know, add some interactability. Okay, so you come up here, right, this line I forgot to add. Go through here. That's your staircase down. How do those feel? They're a little bit wide. I could kind of narrow it up a bit, I think, but whatever. So then you'll go into this big warehouse. That is something that I am a little bit worried about with this game, is like sometimes it's hard to figure out where you're going with like these big empty spaces because they're so huge. But I have a feeling when there's like grass or concrete textures that you'll be able to kind of figure out like where you're at. It probably won't be that big of a deal. And then honestly there will be some enemies in here, so that also you'll be fighting with them and kind of dancing around, so that'll kind of fill up the space as well. And then you'll come up here, go through here, back into your catwalk section, walking around. And it's mainly just this bizarre, weird, like all over the place map. And then depending on what my next section looks like, I might add the catwalks to this section here, or catwalks, add some prison cells into here. Just because it looks like the next section, like it's got a spot for it, but I want to add like another one. So I think I'll add one like, maybe I could add it here or something like that. Maybe you walk out to it and it's here, or it could be up here. Maybe we'll do up here. We'll do that. Okay, let's check that out real quick. Boop. So for that, let me grab the other image. Just because it is really nice to get the exact same proportions when we do stuff. So we'll go here, put this here, put that there. And bam. So like that. Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So that's good. I like that. Let me save this and then we'll work on the next one too. Well, I guess while I'm here, since I'm saving stuff, I might as well fix the other one. flatten. And then fix this guy too. It's just this line right here. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, this guy. And I'm probably only gonna do these 5. Although honestly, I'm like, I'm getting bored. What if we worked on an enemy real quick? Just to get something working so that this isn't so like awful. I kind of want to do something like that real quick. Let's do that. I'm getting bored. So what if, for instance, we already have a lot of the combat stuff working. So all that we technically have to do, so you'll start here, is I think, if I'm not mistaken, so we got weapons, so we can just throw in like, for instance, just because this is more likely that you'll have something like a pipe, we'll throw the pipe in there. And then I do have enemies, but I haven't saved them yet. So let's go to our arena real quick. Right here. Yeah, I put a whole bunch in here. That's so funny. Let's grab just one of these guys. Let's turn it into a prefab. Create folder. We'll go enemies. Open that up. Prefab, and then we're just gonna like base and then okay. And then I do want to do one thing with Keegan's character to make it more fun to play, because it's not very fun to play. When he attacks, I want to add just a brief like placeholder sprite animation. Can his name be Ben? My character's name be Ben? No, I'm not changing my character's name. His name's Keegan. Yeah, it's been like that for a long time, so it has to be his name. But maybe another character could be named Ben. We could do that. So let me put in this little guy, and I'm gonna make him red, and then put him. Yeah, that's good there. And then I'll put this guy here. Oh, the enemy's name. Ben? Call him Ben. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, I thought you meant the main character's name. And I was like, I'm not changing his name. We'll do Ben 2. And then we'll do Benny for this. Ben 2, and Benny. How's that? Okay, so let's just make sure all this works real quick, because I should be able to just throw all of this in here. Does not look like it's working. So what is going on for that to happen? Does it work in the arena? It should work in the arena, right? So I got to figure out what's different here. Okay, so that does work. Interesting. There might be something super simple like one of these variables is not turned on. So if we go to Black Barns, should be turned on. Should be good. Pipe. Yep, should work as well on the interactable layer. Background. There shouldn't be any other colliders going on. This is interesting. Let's... Oh! Well, that is an issue. What is this? Nope. Nope. No thanks. Okay. What is going on here? So on 95. So attacks, attack box, weapon collider info. This is an error that happens sometimes. I don't understand why it does. Because the weapon collider gets set in this. Oh. Yeah, that's a little annoying. I think these variables here don't get set immediately. Yeah, I think I have to manually set them. I don't like that. I want to be able to just drag and drop it later on so that I can just, you know, pop it into the game. So if we go tag player, we grab this guy. What can we get out of that? We can get the HUD. We can get the HUD if we go main menu. And then we grab... that's a little annoying. Okay, so let's say this. On the start, right here, we grab player. Oh, interesting. So it actually is running all of this code. So what's the issue then? What issue is it having? So it should find Keegan, and it should find HUD. HUD left and HUD right. Find object by name, right? HUD left and HUD right. Okay, let's go step by step here. It got Keegan. It's getting hung up on some of these guys. Oh, I also have a feeling the issue... It's on 95. Yeah, okay, so the issue is this happens first. And then it doesn't do this. Where am I going wrong here? So be attack colliders pipe. Okay, that is good there. We're grabbing attacks dot attack box, which comes from attacks J, which comes from here. And where does attacks come from? Okay, so that comes from attack info, right? Attacks. Do I set these manually? Is that what's happening? When I go to arena? I go to pipe. Those aren't set. Oh, this one's set. Oh, wait a minute. Even the parry is set. Wait, really? See, this is also annoying though, because like I don't want to have to do this manually. Attack collider equals this. Ah, man. So for each weapon, can't it just go out and find this? It should just find this object and then grab each of the individual children. Okay, so let's try that then. So we'll go. I'm gonna unplug my drawing pad real quick. Okay, so this should just, if we grab Attack Collider's pipe, for instance, and that's exactly what this is here. And then we grab each individual child object equals Attack Colliders. Attack transforms? What is this? Oh, and then we just check to see, okay, are these all of the transforms? It looks like player.attack colliders has all of the information that we need. Okay, so easy enough. We just do that, and then we grab transform. Then we go, for each of this, we do this. We grab all of these guys. Then we go boom, attack transform, dot get children. Then we have attack colliders I. Okay, so we're already running through all of this code. So what's the problem? Oh, for some reason... It's almost like... I forget, Unity does this weird thing. You can't access an object if it's not turned on. So... Okay, I'm gonna turn all of these off just because they're sitting there. Let's hop into here. We are looking for, where is it? Black Barns. I'm gonna turn all of this on, and I bet you it'll work right off the bat. No, it's not. Okay. That's concerning. Why? Why is that not doing that? That's so weird. So it made it through exactly one of these. It got through the whole thing, and then it got to here and here, and it stopped working. So that's what's happening. Weird. Why? Make that darker so I can see my mouse. Well, since... Okay, I guess that's the other thing that we should check. If we turn this off, does it still work? Or, you know, not work, but it gets as far as it does. Okay, so that, it still actually is working, so that's good. That changes what I thought. Yeah, so it grabs all of that information. What we're looking for, though, is the attack box and attack collider, which should be... Well, this is the weapon collider for itself, so it should be itself. Like, we just go here. Attacks J. Maybe that's what we need. For each object in attack colliders. So what's up with attack colliders then? So it's grabbing these. It's grabbing these transform objects here. Right? making an array out of them. We're adding it to it. Piece of cake. And then we're iterating through each one, and we're grabbing specifically the weapon collider. So let's just print, like, colliders J. That's what should be happening, right? Okay, so it has a weapon collider stored as J. Then we go, oh, I see the problem. So we grab the weapon collider, we grab attack info, we set attack info to attacks.j. The problem is attacks.j does not have the weapon collider, which is ridiculous. Okay, so what we have to do is go attacks j dot and let's see what comes out of here. Yeah, wc. So we have to set so where's attack info? So we need to set attack box and weapon collider. So what exactly is attack box? Where does that come from? Attack box is this object. So it's this child object here. That is the quote-unquote attack box. And then the attack collider is the attached collider here. So what we need to do is set attack box to the child of collider. So instead of weapon collider, we go attack box equals get child. Does that work? Just like that? I mean, okay, does it throw an error? There's no argument given. 0. I think we can just get away with grabbing like the initial child, and that should work. Now we can do this. So out of curiosity, why did I do that before? Because I didn't have access to attack box beforehand. Well then, okay, we do child dot. Does this get me a game object? So I need to go transform. And then transform doesn't have that. So then we have to go, wait, what? Oh, sorry. Lowercase transform. Then got it. That should do it. Okay, I had it backwards. Perfect. Honestly, like, this should work. So we have a different error, but all of this actually worked. And the problem now is that we didn't grab the collider correctly. Why? Because now .get component. Oh. Wait a minute. It doesn't need weapon collider, does it? Wait, oh, that's so weird. Why is it the weapon collider script? I thought it was the collider itself. Okay, weird. So all that we need is, that kind of makes it easier. Instead of attack box though, we don't even need to do that. We just grab this .get component weapon collider. Yeah, what is colliders then? It's a bunch of weapon colliders. That's easy. So we just do that? Is that all that we do? Okay, and then it said that there was an unassigned image or a sprite. Weapon sprite right there. Is that something that I have assigned in here? What does that look like? Weapon sprite. Oh, it's just yeah. You should absolutely make some fan art here. Yes. I would use that in the game. Bin 2 and Benny. Definitely make some fan art. Yeah, we need to know what do these guys look like? What are they gonna be? That's a fantastic idea. I think that I just do that. And then just apply it. Okay, we should be good now. That was tedious, but I think we're good. Oh, and of course, we need to turn on the pipe if we're gonna do that. Boom. Okay, we got it. And then the other big thing is that now, it's not attacking. But we're further now. So we have everything that we need. It's just not turning on, which is interesting. It does work in the arena, does it not? Yes, yeah, you should do that for sure. Oh, I don't think I have a tax set up for this. Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. There's all sorts of issues going on now. Wait a minute. What? What did I do? So the issue... Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I do grab the child object. I still don't get this. What in the world? Okay, so what did I have before? I'm so close with this. It's like, it's very, very close. So we grab attack box. What is attack box though? I just never set it. Interesting. And then this looks like this. Okay, so what did we do differently here? We have the J++. Get component weapon collider. Attack info equals attacks. So the big thing is that we grab this one, just equals whatever the attacks are. So attack info. Oh, wait a minute. No, I already do that though. That's weird. So this is a new thing that we added. And this one was one that we fixed. Yeah, yes. Of the month pictures. Yes, that would be hilarious though. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Okay, so then this one too. It's attack box get component weapon collider. I believe this should just work as is. Because we have this thing and it just grabs this weapon collider. That works. Cool. So perfect. The problem that we're having then is the attack box thing, right? Because basically what's happening is when I attack, it's not... Oh. I think this does it. Okay, I think this does it. We weren't supposed to grab the child object yet. So if we do this, I think it should work. And technically, yeah, the pipe actually does have attacks technically. It's not really set up correctly, but it does have things. So honestly, all of this should still do attacks. So let me give it a shot one more time. Ah, no. What has happened? That's so frustrating. Oh, that works though. That works. So that works. Oh, wait, and now the pipe works. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So if the pipe works... Oh, I'm holding the axe, that's why. Wait, where did the pipe go? Maybe that's why it's working. It's because I'm holding the pipe, but it's not doing anything. Okay, the pipe doesn't do anything. I need to just abandon the pipe. Let's do the dagger. And that should work. So we'll do the dagger instead. Let's give that a shot. Okay, so it was the pipe all along. Did they have a bunch of health? I forget what I did. Oh, they do. Funny. Okay, cool. It all works. Okay, awesome. So we are where we want to be. And the big thing that I wanted to do real quick, just, man, even if I have him like turn into a circle, I need something to happen with Keegan though, because he just stands there, and I want some sort of like lunge forward, anything. So also I need to change the time after. And how do I do that? Because, okay, so if I grab Keegan, we go attack. Attack sequence. So can move is false. It waits for the first duration. It does this. It waits for the second duration. And if you've completed a combo, it does that. I don't like that. We can set that afterward. Yeah, we can set that afterward. But like, and we'll do can attack is false, but like you should be able to move instantly. And we'll do that. Okay, that was the issue that I didn't quite like. Maybe you can't attack right away, but I think that you should be able to move almost right away. So let's try this. So you grab your thing, you'll go boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's actually kind of cool too. You'll be able to do these combo attacks while you're moving around. So in between. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. I like that. I like that. That feels nice. To which I might even make it a little bit smaller window, or a wait time for this, especially after your attack, so that way you can move pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll do something like this. So you'll grab your stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That feels nice. Because you can run up, hit, and then run away and kite and do all of that fun stuff. Yeah, the big thing is, like, I don't want to take away mobility from the player too much. There's a little bit, like, I have to, but if there's anything that I don't have to do, that would be nice. Okay, so then the big thing is the whole animation thing. I have to figure out how all of that works. Yeah, and I will probably spend some time off stream figuring out how all of that works. Because where is that? Yeah, there's going to be some kind of like confusing code for getting that to work. Anyway, I'll have to add stuff to that. So we're going to figure out how to do that later. Anyway, so for now, maybe I can throw these bad boys into the warehouse here. And I'll kind of make them a little bit faster. I also have to make it so that they don't attack immediately. So they shouldn't move, I think, if I do this. Right? Yeah, so they're not moving. And then obviously if I get close to them, they'll start. So I'm just going to run across the whole map. We're just going to check it out real quick. You get into range, they start coming in. Yeah, and they'll constantly be like attacking you, and so you'll have to run away and do things like that while you're doing your combo. So it'll be kind of fun. Okay, that feels nice. That honestly feels nice. There is one thing that I do want to do real quick. I'm actually probably going to completely remove that timer there. For a lot of these. Because I just want to see how that feels. Because, yeah, you need a lot of mobility for a combat game. And so you don't want to be, like, stuck where you're especially with the dagger. That's like your, you know, super fast, quick. Although there does need to be some penalty for just spam clicking. Which I'll figure out anyway. So that's all that I'm working on though right now. I'll do some other stuff later, get more of the map figured out, but thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. I got more Lord stuff, you know, so come check it out. And I'll see you guys next time.